Hello, this is Brittany from the future. I have had this video in my phone, in my old phone, for almost a year. It was, I think, September 20th when I recorded it. Just after this, I went to DFW Fiberfest 2023. Then my husband and I went to England to see his family, and then we got back and work got crazy, like quite crazy. So I had like double the work for about 6 months, and just sorry, it was all like too much, and I didn't have the brain capacity left over after work to do anything else. And since then I've been kind of like recovering from all of the stress and everything. So I've just been knitting and procrastinating a lot of things like cleaning and yeah, switching out my closet for seasons and stuff like that. I haven't been doing anything. Just laziness and self-care, and yeah, so that is why I talk about things that have already happened almost a year ago. I mention Ksenia from the Breakfast Crew and also the Nitty Stew, and I still enjoy their channels, and I just want you guys to know that like everything that I say recently happened in this video happened late last year. So yeah, I'm very sorry. Hopefully I will get my crap together and not wait so long in between recording again and actually doing the videos, the editing and all of that. I'm a bit rusty, as you can tell. Yeah, and I still have the technical issues that I think I talk about in this video. I'm recording on my old iPhone, which the battery like does not hold a charge at all, and that's also the phone that I have to edit the video on in iMovie and then upload to YouTube with, because when I try to do it on my phone, I think I explained this in this other video, but it says that there's not enough memory and it won't let it like export. So yeah, we're cruising, we're doing this, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna make it happen, and my husband is holding me accountable to actually do this stuff and put it up and record on a regular basis again. So yeah, this is me from September 20th, like a year ago. Sorry for all the babbling. Yeah, I got a new haircut. I have fringe now, a fringe. I usually do not wear it curly, but yeah. Anyway, babbling some more. Enjoy Brittany from last year being very excited about going to DFW Fiberfest. And I'm going to record again today, and I'm going to talk about DFW 2023 and also what yarn I bought in England last year, and maybe where I would like to go this year when we go to England. Okay, anyway, enjoy me from the past. Bye. Hi, welcome back to BrittKnitsOKC. This is a knitting and crafting podcast, so if that is not your jam, see you later. I recorded a podcast a few weeks ago, and we moved house, so the last year or so has been extremely busy, I guess the last 6 months or so, and I hadn't really tested or set up a place for podcasting in the new house yet, so it was just a spur of the moment thing, and I understand that I was like very far from the camera and that nobody could really see the knitting and I'm really sorry about that. My plan for today is to go over some of the projects that I talked about in the last video and kind of like make up for the distance that I was from the camera. Hopefully it's good this time. My husband has helped me set up the thing and he's good at that. So I'm also recording on an old iPhone because I usually record on my phone and then I airdrop it to my husband and he edits it on his computer. But that lately that has become an issue because his computer is really old and slow, and you know, video files are huge, and yeah, so we've been having some problems. Hopefully this works in the meantime. I am thinking about getting an actual camera to kind of hopefully resolve this issue. We'll see. Anyway, let's get to it. I do have a finished object, but is the same finished object as last time. This is my pineapple top, and it's a lace. It has lace in the front, has a little pineapple motif on it, and I finished this a while ago. Let's see, I think it's on my Ravelry. It moved it to the bottom, kind of. Okay. So I finished it July 10th and I started June 3rd. So if those dates are correct, it only took me like a month and maybe like 5 weeks to knit it. It was a really fun project. I liked the intricacy of the front pattern and then the stockinette on the back. So it was like a perfect mix of lace, stockinette, difficult things, easy, mindless knitting. It was pretty good. I liked it. It's by Yeon Hwa Lee, and I thought they had a different name as a designer, but I guess not. Yeah, it's called the pineapple top. I found the pattern. Actually, I think my friend and I saw it on Ravelry, or not Ravelry, on Instagram, and wanted to knit it, but Jenny got busy, so she has not knit hers yet, but she did buy the yarn for it, and the yarn is Ecopuno, Lana Grossa Ecopuno, and I did this pretty yellow color. Let me see, let me check. I probably should have looked all this up before, but I have gotten very bad about that. Also, sorry for the fan, but it is summer in Oklahoma, and even though it's September and it should be getting cooler soon, Oklahoma has not gotten the memo. So it's currently 90 degrees outside. Fun. So the fan is a necessity. I'm extremely sorry if it bothers your ears. The color of this Lana Grossa Ecopuno is Gelborange. So it's kind of this like orangey yellow color. It's pretty good. I love this shirt. I haven't worn it that much because it's actually warm. Like, you would think, oh, it's lace. It wouldn't be that warm. It's kind of warm. I mean, the yarn holds in the heat, so I'm sure I'll wear it a lot more in the coming weeks. Yeah. So I definitely recommend this top. I love it. It's pretty good. So that is that one. And then let's go with the whips. So every summer I get very interested in summer knits, and I think I'm gonna knit like 5 summer tops, and it doesn't really always work out that way. So I have not even half of a summer top to show you. This is it's the Ardea top by Life is Cozy, and I'll put all of the links in the description below. So this is what it should look like. I don't think you can see that. It's like very textured, and you knit sideways. So you knit from one side to the other side, and then you do the back first, and then you do the same thing for the front, and you seam up the sides. So this was hurting my hands a little bit because I tend to have like a death grip on the yarn, and it's just, there's 3 different texture patterns, and once you learn them, it's great. But I also modified this pattern to add a few more stitches, excuse me, so that it will be long enough, because I have a really long torso. So this is the back. I'm so close to being done. Like, this is ridiculous. It's a bit ridiculous. I mean, I might have like 2 or 3 inches left, maybe 4. Okay, yeah. So these little markers are where the start of the neckline is, and so I literally only have that much on the front or on the back to do for this one. Maybe I'll get it done. I don't know, I'm getting very excited about like autumn and winter knitting, so who knows when that's gonna happen. So this is the texture. Actually, I'm very excited about this top, and I think it's very pretty, and it's like a very plain yarn. That doesn't have a ball band, of course. We're flying by the seat of our pants today. It's alright. It's fine. You do like a provisional cast on, that's why it has this other yarn on it. Just ignore that. That's going away later. I used, it's the Ardea pattern by Ksenia, Naidyon. Let me click on it. Life is Cozy, Ksenia. Yes. And I used Rowan Creative Linen in the colorway Silver. So it's obviously not like gray. It's a very natural color. Yeah, I am really loving this pattern. It just, I don't knit very quickly with cotton yarn, and with all the texture and everything, it's kind of a lot. Right now I basically have like no easy knits, and it's becoming an issue. And I'm also working against like deadlines that I've given myself, and I'm going to mercilessly fail at. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. So yeah, this will be good for next summer, definitely. And then one other like kind of long-term whip that I've had is the Rococo Pullover by Sari, Nordlund. I'm making this for my mom. I finished the yoke. I'm obsessed with this yoke. Totally obsessed with it. It's so good. And my mom really likes teal. So yeah, she picked this out of my pattern book, my collection of patterns. I did modify it because she wanted just shorter arms, kind of. And I didn't want it to be too long, and I also, she wants it to be very long in the body, like as long as I can make it with the yarn that I have. So I wanted to do the sleeves so that I could just use the rest of the yarn for the body. And I finished one of the sleeves and did the design on the cuff. I'm not in a hurry to finish this. I'll probably finish it after our vacation we have coming up. I will probably do that then, because you know, it's a sleeve and I can kind of mindlessly, but I modified it and did a decrease a little bit quicker in this area, so I'm gonna have to really pay attention, and I just do not have the brain space right now. That's why I haven't been podcasting a lot. Yeah, there's just been a lot going on, and I've felt a little bit overwhelmed by all of it. And very much like cocooning in any free time that I have, so yeah. Okay, the other one that I have is this one. I have to look up the name of it, actually. I haven't worked on it in a while, and there was a knit along for this person's patterns in, I think, August, and I was like, yeah, I can totally do that. I can knit that. By August, I think it went from like July to August or July to September or something like that, and I was like, yeah, I can totally do that. I totally could not. It's finger work, color work, fingering color work. It's taken a while, and I've had all these other things going on, so I haven't. This is the Exhale by Rachel Illsley, who is Unwind Knitwear on Instagram. And let me show you what the shirt will look like when it's actually done. It has this really pretty, I love her color. I'm obsessed with her color work, actually. So that's what it looks like. Hopefully you can see the pattern. It has this really pretty thing in the center. Yeah. So for this one, I'm using, oops, I keep clicking the wrong buttons. Yeah, I started this May 7th. So yeah, we're not doing great on this. But this one is not on. This is a long-term knit. I knew that doing a fingering weight colorwork sweater was going to take a while, and I would get tired of it and put it down and then pick it up later, and yeah. This is Suburban Stitcher Sock, and I'm using Rosewood and Marshmallow. So this is, let me see what the, okay, that is the front. Also, I'm knitting, most of these projects I alternate skeins, so like we have a whole problem here where it's all tangled up. And I've taken them out of bags so I can use the bags for other things, and it's just a whole thing. It's just a whole thing. Yeah. Okay, here's where I am so far. You can see I've got the middle part going. So that's it. I'm like halfway through. Halfway through the colorwork section. Anyway, this will get done sometime this winter. And if you want to see the yarns on their own, this is Marshmallow. Come on, light. The light hates me right now. Yeah, this is Marshmallow. It's like a cream color with some purple and orange and yellow and pink and grayish looking speckles. And then this is Rosewood. Just a really nice dusky pink. Yeah. Someday I'll finish this. It would be good plain knitting, but I have another project for that. And then my other whip, besides the main one that I'm working on right now, is this one. It is a very puffy sleeve, kind of tight fitting sweater. It has like the best puffy sleeve. This will go up here and be tight, and then it will just like balloon kind of over it. Yes, and it has mohair. I have one sleeve done, and then I want to finish the other sleeve and then finish the body. Kind of the same as the Rococo. Let me see my notes. This is the Oxford Jumper by Fabel Knitwear. I just love her patterns. They're all kind of like vintage inspired or like nerdcore inspired. Yeah, they're beautiful. This is what it will look like when it's finished. It's glorious. If I actually wear it a lot, I might get a deep like orangey reddish color like that and make another one. And I might make it, depending on if I have enough yarn, I might make it a little bit longer than what she's done, because she has a very short torso and I have a very long torso, and if I knit the amount that she said, it would be like, it would go to like here. That would not be good. I wouldn't be able to wear it to work. I wouldn't, yeah, it wouldn't be good for me. So yeah, I'm doing that. And I am using some yarn from a dyer who does not dye anymore. It was like a club, and the color is called Puffed Sleeves. So my inspiration was kind of Anne of Green Gables puffed sleeves. And then the mohair is Sandnes Garn Tynn Silk Mohair in the color Light Crocus. So I will show you the yarn separately if I can. There's a lot of balls of yarn hanging off of this too. There's the puffed sleeves, and then this is Crocus. So when you put them together, it makes this like really beautiful bluish purple. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm ready to wear it. It's so beautiful. It's gonna be so warm. Yeah. Okay, so the main project that I've been working on is like my ultimate like dream knitting. When I started knitting, I found this pattern like really early in my knitting, and I was like, someday I'm gonna make that. And I have started it, and it is the Moonflower by Storey, and it's this beautiful colorwork coat. Let me see, where's the front? There we go. It's a picture of the front. Yeah, it has these like really beautiful flowers on it. Yeah, Moonflower by Storey. The colors that I used, I bought a kit, and then I did order a few extra skeins because when I bought the kit I was a different size. So, and it turns out I could not hit gauge. I could not hit gauge with this project. I still have not hit gauge. I'm gonna cross my fingers, and in a few weeks before my big trip, I might have to order more yarn. We'll see. But you use Rowan Alpaca Soft DK, and this yarn is beautiful. The colors are beautiful. It's so soft, but also like a little bit more hefty for fall. Yeah. So if you're new here, I kind of overdo it a little bit. So to give you an example, the first sweater, like I knit a square, and then I was like, okay, now I'm gonna knit a cabled sweater, and I did. So that kind of sets you up for what goes on here. I thought, so a few weeks ago, I thought, okay, we're going to London to visit Daniel's family and my husband Daniel, and it's the first time he's been home in like 3 years because he had to wait till he got his green card so he could travel. and it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So I got the bright idea amidst all of the planning and all of the logistics that go into an overseas intercontinental trip. I thought, wouldn't it be a great idea if I cast on a stranded colorwork jacket, and I can totally have it finished before we leave. No problem, no problem. That is not going to happen. This has turned into definitely plain knitting. It's definitely going to be my plain knitting. I am at the end of this week. Today's Sunday. What's the date? I don't even know. It's the 10th. So yeah, it's the 10th of September, and this next weekend is DFW Fiber Fest. So me and my friends are going to that. I am hoping that I have a lot of knitting time during DFW Fiber Fest, because I kept thinking like, oh, I've already done nearly a fourth of the body, and it's only like, it only repeats the pattern like 4 times, so I should, you know, I'm doing well, I'm doing really great. What I forgot was that there are 2 front panels as well, and then also sleeves. So I'm not as far as I thought I was. And I'm definitely like probably not going to be able to wear this in England, which is sad, but I can knit on it in England and it'll be fine. So it has this like flower motif on it, and it has 6 colors, and you start out from the bottom. This is it so far. Start out from the bottom and it's this brown color, and then it goes to the maroon kind of, and then this peachy melon color, and this is a really beautiful teal that maybe you can see now, I don't know, and then a green, and then this like greeny gold color, and then it starts all over again. So I'm almost done 1 repeat on the body. And also, since I never got gauge, this is going to be, I mean, I restarted twice, and then, like, you know, once you restart twice, you're getting a little irritated, and I was either like not going to do this project right now, or I was just gonna go with it, and I decided to just go with it. So this is just the body, and it goes about here, which is not bad. So it's gonna be pretty slouchy. It's gonna be pretty slouchy. I think it's going to be 10, about 10 centimeters too big, like bigger than what it's intended. But I don't care. Like, it's an oversized cardigan, basically long cardigan, so that should be fine. I'm okay with that. That's where maybe having to buy more yarn comes in, because I might run out of the colors and or the gray part. So I have all of the balls of yarn in this bag that I've been carrying it around in, and I'm also using Knit Companion app for the chart. And Nitty Natty recently uploaded a video about how to set up your charts and how to use magic markers, and it has changed my life. Because before I was going off, I don't even have it in here, I was going off this paper pattern that I colored with markers, and the squares were the tiniest squares I've ever seen in my life. I do not understand why this pattern, why this chart is written this way, because it just repeats, and the only things that are different are the edges, but it does have all of the sizes, and the sleeve chart is marked on it. So I guess it does make sense in that way, but the tiny squares were infuriating. So I started carrying my iPad around, and that's how this is gonna happen. So let me find the brown. This is the brown. And I need my phone because I do not know the color names. Okay, so the colors are Classic Brown. Color 204, Classic Brown. So that's the first row. And then after that is this color called Tea. It's color 205, called Tea. And that is this one. And then the next one is the orangey one. Where did it go? Brick. So this one's called Brick. So it has like 3 reddish tones, red base tones, and then 3 like cool tones. So 3 warm tones and 3 cool tones. So it goes like this. These are the warm tones: Classic Brown, Tea, and Brick. And then after that, it's this teal color, which is Dunkelger. I don't think that's correct. It's color 214. That is in a different language. Hunter Green, 214, Hunter Green. It's actually teal. I wouldn't call this a green, but I didn't choose the names. So then there's this teal, and then there is green. And this one is called Clover, and that is color 215. And then it's this pretty limey, yellowy, goldy color called Autumn Gold, and that's number 220. And then the gray color is called Rainy Day, and that's number 210. So that is this beautiful soft gray color. And I will hold up the other ones. This is how the cool tones go, like that. So it goes like this, and then the red. Let me try to hold these up. This is a futile thing I've decided to do. Like this. Yeah, so it's kind of like a rainbow of colors. Yeah, I'm really loving this. I love the way it looks. I do not regret knitting it. I do regret that I never got gauge, but it'll be fine. If I have to buy some more yarn for it, that's fine. I bought it as a kit like 2 years ago. Yeah. And a lot of people online, like, these were the colors, obviously, from the actual, like, it's their recommended yarn and colors. I just loved it. I usually am not a color loving person, but I just thought it was so beautiful, and then all the colors are kind of muted, so it's not too crazy for me. Yeah. You can see it again. I'm not quite finished with the 6th color section with the autumn gold, but yeah, I'm very excited about this. It's gonna be so pretty and so warm. I'll show you my floats. Ooh. That's what the yellow floats look like. Yeah, I'm very excited about this, but I'm definitely not wearing it in England. So yeah. You know, I knit like 10 rows today, which was pretty good. I think that's the most I've done in one day. But honestly, after I had to take it apart twice, the first time I took it apart, I wasn't very far. But then the second time I took it apart, I was all the way up here. So that was a bummer. So then I got like a little bit depressed about it. And there was a time period where I like did a lot of staring at the TV and watching movies. And my knitting was sitting there, but I just didn't pick it up. So there was a couple weeks where I could have knit a bunch and I did not, and that's my fault. And now I will pay. Yeah, So that is all the knitting I have. Hopefully I will have some more to talk about next time. I probably will not put up a podcast again for a while. I have DFW, but then a week or two later I'm going on vacation to England for almost 2 weeks. So I will not be able to. Hopefully I can film some stuff in England, so that'll be cool. I've never been there before, so yeah, I'm very excited about that. I do have some recommendations, actually. Where's my phone? Everything is on my phone. I don't know anything else, really. My memory is really bad because of my job, but because if you look things up all day, you have way too much information in your brain, and it all gets a little bit jumbly. Where is my Libby app? I've been reading a lot, actually. I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks, and I've been reading a lot. So, I have my first recommendation, book recommendation, is The Lost Ticket. It's about these people who meet on a bus in London, and it's kind of like a meet cute situation, and then something happens. And then like 40 years later, 50 years later, this woman meets this guy, this like older man on this bus, and strikes up a friendship with him, and then they're like on this mission to find the girl on the bus. It's very cute. I loved everything about it. I listened to the audiobook and it was great. I also read Outlawed by Anna North, which is kind of like a western, but like a feminist western. Loved that. I've been reading a lot of romance novels lately, so I really liked Ali Hazelwood's book. She writes like a lot of shorter novellas, so I read The Love Hypothesis and Stuck With You, and they're all kind of like STEM, like people who work in STEM romance, so like scientists and stuff. It's fun. And right now I'm reading Beard Science by Penny Reed. My friend recommended these books like a long time ago, and I downloaded them, but I wasn't quite sure because they're based in the South, and like the main guy in Beard Science, his name is Cletus, which is just hilarious to me. I live in Oklahoma. People like to say that it's not the South, but they're like, we're Midwest, and I'm like, no, you're Southern. You're very Southern. It's a little bit Southern and a little bit scary here, so yeah, so that part of it kind of gives me pause and everything, but at the same time, the main characters are kind of not what you would expect in a like Southern romance kind of thing. Yeah, so I'm loving that. I also read 500 Miles From You by Jenny Colgan, and in that book, the two main characters are healthcare workers. They're nurses in the NHS, and one of them has a kind of like triggering PTSD type situation, and they recommend that she do this program. What she doesn't know at the time is that the program is new, and they want her to like swap places with another nurse for a little while. So she swaps places with this man who lives in Scotland, and there's like 6 people who live in the town and it kind of like goes back and forth through their experiences, and they're just communicating through the like notes in their work files basically at the beginning. I really enjoyed that book though. Anyway, I will stop talking about books. I could talk about books a lot. That's basically what I like to do besides knit, is read books and listen to audiobooks. So I have 2 podcast channels and Instagram feeds that our Instagram accounts rather, that I want to recommend to you. The first one is Ksenia of the Breakfast Crew podcast on YouTube. She actually mentioned me in her podcast recently. She lives in Texas and she films a podcast. She's a knitter and a crocheter, and she films a podcast with her daughter Harvest, and they are the cutest, coolest people ever. And I'm very sad that I don't think she's going to DFW this year, because I would love to meet her and say hi and hang out. Yeah, I really appreciated her mentioning. She said that she just found my podcast and was like, oh hey, she lives in Oklahoma and watched a few episodes. Hopefully this one and the last one live up to the old ones, because there's been a lot going on. Anyway, so you should check her out. Her name is Ksenia, and on Instagram she's thenatural_crowknitter83. That's her Instagram account. And on YouTube, she is The Breakfast Crew. I love her podcast. Like, I like all of the stuff that she shows on the podcast. She's very nice. This is a sweater that or a shirt that she finished recently. And then Harvest is this amazing artist. She draws kind of like anime type stuff. She's the cutest. Yeah. Let's see. Her art's very cool. Okay. And then the other podcast that I want to recommend to you is the Knitty Stew, or Knitty Stew. Let me see. It's the Knitty Stew, and her name is Leanne, and Leanne is a Canadian flight attendant, and she did travel like all over Canada and the US, but recently she started intercontinental travel. So I watched part of an episode where she went to Paris, and when she goes to a city, she talks about her knitting and what she's working on and shows finished objects and all of that kind of stuff, but she also films around the city that she's in and shows you like cool stuff and goes to local yarn shops, and I just love her channel. It's so interesting. Like, here's her picture that she put up for Paris. Yeah, definitely go check her channel out. Yeah, that is all that I have right now. I am going to make sure that this worked and that the phone situation is okay, and that the video will export, because last time what happened was I recorded the video on my phone, and then I thought, oh, okay, I'll try using iMovie. So I learned how to use iMovie, I edited the video, and then I tried to export it, and it just kept saying, you cannot export this. This file is too large to export, and it just kept going. And then it would say like, you need this many gigs, and I would go delete stuff, and I still didn't have enough gigs. So I don't really know. I really hope that doesn't happen this time. Yeah, we'll see. And then I'm thinking about recording an episode about what I want to get in at DFW Fiberfest, and I want to focus on cardigans, because I've mostly knit pullovers and t-shirts, and actually usually what I wear to work is like a plain black tank top situation, basically like high necked with no sleeves, and then a cardigan over it, because it gets hot here, and sometimes in the office, actually my office is usually freezing, but sometimes it gets hot and like muggy, and you don't want to wear a sweater, which you could wear. You have to have a sweater, but then at the same time, like, you can't wear it all day sometimes. So I think I need some cardigans. So I might record another video about that, about my hopes for DFW and cardigans. So that's all for today. Sorry if it was all like rushed. I'm just nervous about the video. Anyway, you can find me on Instagram at BrittKnitsOKC and here on YouTube at BrittKnitsOKC. And hopefully you will like and subscribe and make good decisions, and happy knitting. Bye.